Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another episode of Becoming a Wild Rift Expert. And I got a banger again for you guys. This is Ry, the #1 team from Korea, and then Nova Esports, #3 team from China. And I picked this one game, and you guys know it. When I pick a game, you know it's gonna be a good game because Ry showed an amazing performance in during the group stage, and obviously Nova Esports showed an amazing performance as well. They haven't dropped a single series yet, by the way. And you know what's actually funny? No WRL team has dropped a single series during the entirety of Icons. You know what's even funnier? Chinese teams have never dropped a series. Ever in Wild Rift. They've never ever lost a series. Actually, they lost one series against another Chinese team. Okay, so you get my point. Chinese teams are crazy. Nova Esports is the #3 team from China, but this is Ry. And I picked this game because, first of all, I really love this draft from Ry. They have a lot of tanks. They also have a lot of damage. They basically have the answers to Nova Esports. And first, I mainly want to talk about the Singed, because Singed is really good against those melee champions. And if you look at the composition of Nova Esports, Riven, Wukong, Jace, Braum, 4 melee champions. If Ry gets to the late game, that Singed is going to be unbeatable. The slow is going to be unbearable, and they'll never be able to kill him. Next up, we got Garen with the true damage. He's gonna be able to shred through everyone. And then also Luna on that Varus, who's gonna be able to do massive damage from a long distance. I would say Ry's draft is definitely stronger, but I get proven wrong sometimes by these WRL teams because of the way they play the game. So I got a little bit more input on you guys. So how do these WRL teams always get ahead on gold? Because look at the gold count. 600 or 400 gold ahead. And while it is only a few hundred gold, we're only 2 minutes into the game and nothing happened. But yet Nova Esports is still ahead in gold. And this is a very subtle lead that you guys are seeing right now. But basically the way that these Chinese teams do it is, first of all, they farm better. But secondly, and most importantly, and I actually talked with some other pro players like Snitch, for example. I asked him, I genuinely asked him, how do these teams do it? You know? I know how they do it, but I just wanted to hear the input from another pro player who actually played against these teams, because he actually scrimed against these teams. So he told me the #1 reason is they're always their wave management, basically. Here you can see it. Jace, Nyan on the Jace pushed out mid lane and then he rotates. Even if he makes a losing play right now, Ry is gonna lose farm. But you can see right now, they push out waves and they're able to rotate. Ry saw it coming, however. They had the vision, and even though someone fell off, it is fine for Ry because they are definitely gonna get something back right here. You can see it's funny because no team was able to deal with any of the WRL teams before. But now the teams are much closer. Ry is actually neck on neck with Nova Esports right now. They did lose the first game, but even their first game was super close. And teams are starting to understand it. And as I said, Nova Esports, which is one of the Chinese teams, they'll always push out waves. Again, look at wait, we're gonna rewind the video right now and look at top lane. So let's rewind the video. Alright, video is rewinded. Look at Rattel, the Garen. He's helping out his team. Meanwhile, Yizhe on the top lane. Look at what he's doing. He's pushing out the wave. Even though Ry is getting a kill right here, Yizhe is making sure that on the opposite side of the map, Nova Esports is winning the game. They're making Ry lose farm. This may seem like it doesn't really matter, but yes, it does matter. It definitely does matter. Rattel is gonna lose gold because of this, and it's actually quite a decent amount of gold. I mean, look at the gold count. Nova Esports is ahead. They're ahead. Even though Ry has more kills, even though Ry is the team that's pushing the turrets, Nova Esports is ahead. And I just explained to you guys exactly how it happens. So the big lesson that you can learn right here, the big lesson I can learn here as well, everyone should learn here, is wave management. It's not only about the kills, it's not only about the objectives. Waves, minions, they are so important as well. It may seem subtle, but if you get a lot of them, oh, and Nyan is in trouble right there. You thought he could just get a kill on Noma and Zero, but oh my god, I love how Zero on that Singed used that proto belt. I mean, you can see it, right? He just wanted to get that kill. He used his proto belt to deal just a tad bit more damage as well, but unfortunately they weren't able to kill out 9 right there. But that's what I mean. Nova is just always able to do something on the map. They're always able to push out waves, and even if they seemingly lose the game, they're still 1000 gold ahead, and now you know exactly why. So the next time when you watch these games, I actually want you to pay attention to the map, you know, understand why these teams are winning, understand how they're getting these leads, and apply it in your own games as well. It's so important. Like when you're playing Baron lane, for example, don't just go ahead and help your team. No, whenever you can, try to push out your wave. Push out the wave and then help. I'm not telling you to always do this because there's obviously emergency situations where you have to go immediately. What I'm trying to say is pay more attention to the waves. Pay more attention to the waves. Try to push those out before doing objectives. Try to push those out before doing anything really. Alright, so let's take a look at the situation that is happening right now. Nova Esports has Corki. This is one of the most this is actually the no. After Karma, I believe Corki is the most contested champion in the game, and he has a package. So how does Roster Y play around this? Let's take a look at it, right? Because Nova Esports has the stronger team fighting composition right now. They have the Jace, which is an early game champion, and they have a Corki with a package. You're gonna struggle against that. So let's actually see how Roster Y deals with that. Nova is starting out the Dragon because they want to force a fight. Roster Y is currently poking with the Varus. Luna is doing a great job, and there is the engage from Nomel. Beautiful, beautiful stun. Very, very good Corki package, which actually secures the Dragon as well. And man, this is a close fight. Zero in the backline. Make sure to get that kill, and Rattel as well. Like, but of course, Nova Esports is pushing a turret on the opposite side of the map. Of course, they're pushing a turret. Like, how? They lost this. They lost the Dragon. They lost the fight. But yet, Nova Esports is still getting a turret on the top lane. And Long in the jungle as well on that Wukong just got a triple kill. And Yizhe, look. Boom. First turret. They're sitting on 22.5 thousand gold. So, Nova Esports actually lost this trade. Normally, when a team loses like this, they're gonna get behind by a lot, right? Because they lost an objective, they lost a lot of pressure. And as you look into the replay, like, you can see how they lost the fight. Like, Roster Y had an amazing fight. Nomel, just beautiful, beautiful engage. Stunning them into each other, just doing what Seth has to do. And then Rattel on that Garen as well, going in with a full HP and boom, using that ultimate and killing the Braum as well. Like, Roster Y played the team fight very, very well. But look at Long, look at the Wukong. He actually killed 2 people in the back. Oh, let's see how he did it there. Look at that damage. He also killed Do, by the way. How did he do that? He's just playing Wukong. He's utilizing that first ability. Boom! Healing up constantly. He actually nearly got a pentakill, by the way. And while I'm talking, we have another fight. And yet again, a beautiful engage by Nomel. But unfortunately, he gets chain CC'd and Novak gets all the kills. So, like, Nova Esports also secured this Rift Herald. But Garen, look at Rattel. Look at Rattel. He's doing so much damage on that Garen. The Garen ultimate is just disgusting. And another thing about the Garen ultimate, by the way, this is very important to understand, is Garen ultimate is not just good to execute a single target. And Rattel is actually showing a different way of using Garen ultimate. Of course, it is good to execute a single target, but there is a secondary use to it. So you deal 100% true damage to the main target, but you also deal 50% of that damage to the targets around the main target. Which means, and you actually can pay attention to this, as a Garen, you can actually choose to try and just hit an enemy, even though it doesn't execute that enemy. But if there is a lot of enemies around him, you're gonna do massive, massive damage. And it's true damage. So you'll shred right through any armor, any magic resistant, anything. So what you'll see Rattel do is sometimes he'll use an ultimate a little bit earlier just to deal that AoE damage as well. So again, it's a bit situational, but that is a very, very good thing to know about Garen as well. And Rattel is actually going for full AD Garen. He has a Black Cleaver and just picked up a Starrick's Gauge as well. That is a full AD build. That's no defense whatsoever. So interesting to see how he actually chooses to go for full damage. And 9 is struggling a little bit in that mid lane. He picked the Jace. He went for the Hullbreaker. Unfortunately, sitting on a 0-2 score. He's not having a fun time in this game right now. And even though he's actually split pushing, he's really not going to be able to do much against anyone at this point. He's sitting on 5.2 thousand gold. And Roster Y knows this. They know they can just cancel out his pushing. The only major problem I would say that Roster Y has is probably going to be Long right now on that Wukong because he's pretty fat. And while I'm talking, actually, Yizhe is also sitting on quite a lot of gold. But on the opposite side, you have Rattel sitting on 8.3 2,000 gold. And Rolster is trying to catch a Dying right there. It's gonna be hard because he does have that Hull Breaker. You can't easily catch an enemy with a Hull Breaker. It seems like Do is trying as well. That should be a kill, right? That should be a kill. Yize is here though. Yize is here. Everyone is here. Oh! Rolster, why? There's no way they can just run away out of this for free, right? There is no way they do. Rolster, why? Beautiful, beautiful turret. They just ran away for free. They took those kills and they ran away for free. And honestly, Rolster Y has 11 kills. Nova has 5 kills, but it's only a 2,000 gold lead, which is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Nova Esports stays calm and collective. They're, staying into this game. And Chinese teams have had many, many instances where they actually just make a comeback in a game like this. Like a seemingly losing game, they just actually stay calm and collective and make a comeback. Although I really like the approach from Rolster Y right now, because they really, really shut down Nyan on that Jace. And Jace doesn't skill into the late game as well. It essentially turns this game into a 5 versus 4 because like Jace is going to be useless. During team fights he's going to be useless. He's just not going to do any damage. So very, very well played by Rolster White to focus him out many, many times and put him on a 0-3 score. He also has a Hull Breaker, which is a really bad item in a team fight, of course, because you're not going to be able to utilize the bonus passive from it. So yeah, let's see. Rolster White indeed capitalizes on it. Just as I said, they're going to team fight. Nova should struggle because, again, even though they have a Jace, which is strong early game, even though they have Remake on the Corki with the package, they should still struggle against Rolster Y because Rattel is so unbelievably fed. Rolster Y is going to have such a massive advantage during this team fight. And look at Luna as well, just poking out like crazy. Just so good. And I want to ask you guys a general question. Just a general question. Why? Okay, this is the test your knowledge. So Nova Esports has quite a lot of tanky champions, right? Riven, Wukong, Braum. And I am telling you right now, these champions are gonna be sliced through like a hot knife through butter. Why? Why am I saying that Rolster Y can very, very easily deal with that composition of Nova Esports? There is several answers to that. Let's see if you can get every single one of them. Test your knowledge. I believe there's like 4 answers. I'll tell all of them after. It's like 4 or 5 different reasons why Rolster Y's composition is gonna absolutely destroy Nova Esports in the late game. Theoretically. I'm saying theoretically because we know what the WRL teams can do. So test your knowledge. Put it in the comments. I'll tell you in like a minute or so because I believe there's going to be a dragon fight. By the way, Rolster Y was able to delay this long enough that Remake on the Corki lost his package. So now Nova Esports doesn't have an advantage at all anymore. And Rolster Y knows that. They start off this dragon and they're going to fight. They're probably just going to fight and they should... Wow, as I'm talking, that's a lot of damage actually. Just a lot of poke damage in general. But they should win this fight. Rattel tanking up a lot of damage and... It's actually Nova Esports securing the dragon, but while I'm talking, they're actually struggling a lot. Rolster Y is kinda winning the fight, but it's not going very smoothly. Oh, Remake! He runs away. No, how do they do it? Nova Esports actually came out on top. Beautiful, beautiful fight. Corki dealt so much damage in that fight. He was constantly maintaining a safe position, dashing out so much damage. So, let me just give you an answer to that question right now. So, the main answer is Rolster Y has true damage. Now let me dissect it. Garen's ultimate. Garen's third ability with the Black Cleaver. Actually, let's talk about the fight before I finish that. So let's see what actually happened. So Rolster Y, they got poked down. Jace did a lot of damage. Corki did a lot of damage. They got poked down. And then Jace used a beautiful stasis enchant, wasting a lot of time from Rolster Y. And Long secured the dragon. And you can see like, oh, Yami escapes with 1 HP on that Braum. Remake on that Corki is maintaining a safe distance, doing a lot of damage. Like, look, Remake also catches out Luna, by the way. Remake caught out the Varus, used his flash to go in, and then, of course, when he's alive and Varus is not alive, he's gonna carry the fight. So, let me give you all the answers. Garen's true damage. Garen's Black Cleaver with the third ability, which is gonna be able to shred through the armor from Nova Esports very, very easily. Camille's first ability, true damage. Varus' second ability, which can execute enemies. It deals percentage HP damage. Set's second ability, which deals true damage. And Set's ultimate, which the tankier an enemy is, the more damage Set's ultimate does. I believe those were like 7 different things. If you got all of those, congratulations. You're a very, very smart player. If you got a few of those, also very, very good. If you got none of those, then get off your lazy ass and test your knowledge next time. No, I'm joking, guys. If you don't want to do that, it's all good. So, very, very tanky composition from Nova. I mean, look at their items. Divine Sunderers, Black Cleavers, Hole Breakers, all over the board. Every single one is so tanky. But more interestingly, actually, Ratel's build. Cyrilda's Grudge, third item. So he's not just focusing on his ultimate. He also just want to do a lot of damage with his third ability. And you know what the disgusting thing is about this item on Garen? It's the third ability. If he can spin in the middle of the enemy, and the third ability is going to slow all of them by like 30% constantly. Wow! I need to give that Garen build a try. You know what? I'm actually going to give that Garen build a try. I'm going to do it on my own YouTube channel. I'm actually going to give it a try. I have given a similar build a try, and dealt insane damage. I'm just gonna do it again. So I'm gonna make a video of that on my YouTube channel as well, which if you haven't checked out already, you know, Hell's Devil, Wild Rift. I make Wild Rift content every single day. You should check it out if you want to. If you want to see more of this type of, well, not this type of content, but if you want to see more of my content. I love how aggressive Nomel is though. I really, really love this aggressive set approach. Like, he's really telling Nova, you guys cannot step up, right? Like, it's not just about the gameplay, it's also about the mental game. Like, Nomel is truly telling Nova right now, you don't mess with me. You don't mess with me. Oh, and it's a beautiful stasis by Remake. He blocked that Camille ultimate. Meanwhile, Luna, man, Luna on that Varus is doing so much damage. Like, you can't actually see it if you don't pay attention to him, but man, he does a lot of that. Look at that, constant arrow after arrow after arrow. I love how he turns around when he shoots his arrows as well. It's kind of funny. Just rolls to right. Every single player is playing the role correctly. Like, you can see all of them have a lot of gold, as opposed to Nova Esports. Unfortunately, a few of them are struggling. Like, Nine is really struggling, and he's never gonna get back into this game. Like, this is gonna be a really, really tough task for Nova to make a comeback. Even though they have 2 dragons, even though they do actually have more turrets as well, still gonna be a very tough task, because, you know, I can see that composition is gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle a lot. Their tanks are not gonna be able to hold up. Corki is gonna be the only carry that they have to rely on. You know, Jace is gonna be useless. Braum's tankiness is nothing, and it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a real struggle for Nova Esports. So let's see how they do it, right? Because if there's one team that can do it, it's gonna be a WRL team who can win a game when they're on the back foot. And the Elder Dragon is spawning as well. So this is basically the objective that tells you, hey, you're not getting any further into the late game because I'm spawning, and you have to deal with me. Because, you know, Elder Dragon, if you take the Elder Dragon, it's not an instant win, but it essentially increases your winning chances by, like, you know, if it was 50% before, it changes it into like 80% or 85% even. That's how big the Elder Dragon is. That's how insane the buff is. So it's an important objective, right? Everyone is going to be fighting around it. You can see Yize from Nova Esports as well. Of course, he's roaming around to it. He has to. It's not gonna be the last fight, but this is gonna be a very important fight. Remake actually did not pick up his package. Package is in his base. Nova Esports forgot to get the package, which is super duper bad for them. And you can actually see on the top side, Roster picked off Long. And on the bottom side, Luna is trying to run away, but he's wasting so much time and he's doing so much damage. So even though Luna died, which is probably the main carry, it doesn't matter because Roster while I'm talking though, yeah, it doesn't matter. Roster they run away. 4 of them are alive. They killed off 3 people from Nova Esports. Roster still have the jungler. They can just go back, buy teleport boots and rush down this Elder Dragon. Roster let's see if they do it. Let's see if they do it. Are they gonna do it? Ratel, go back, buy teleport boots. Or Ratel is actually very healthy. Yeah, Zero is going back. He's buying the teleport boots. He's gonna be coming back as a full HP Singed. And it's a free Elder Dragon. This is a free Elder Dragon. There you go. Long, I love how Long and Yize bought teleport boots, but they're way too late. They're never gonna make it. Or are they? No, they're not gonna make it. Roster calm and collective, doing what they have to do, securing the Elder Dragon, the Elder Mountain Dragon. They are not afraid. You can clearly see Roster is not afraid right now, which I feel is the #1 obstacle all of these teams have against these WRL teams. Being afraid. No, understand what you can do, understand that this was a free Elder Dragon and take it. And now the chances are looking very, very slim from Nova Esports to make a comeback. Like, honestly, I don't really see anyway for Nova Esports to make a comeback into this. It's crazy for me to say because obviously Nova Esports is perhaps the best team in Icons right now, you know, with FPX, but I'm not seeing a single way of them making a comeback into this. Like, they just lost an Elder Dragon into this later game composition. Their tanks are gonna be useless. I just don't see a way. Although now that I'm talking, Roaster is starting off the Baron. They're taking a lot of damage. Their magic resist, the armors are getting reduced. This is risky. Oh, Roaster Y. No, this is risky, but they do it. Oh, they got the Baron. They got it, they killed Long, and now it's just game over. I don't really like the way that Roaster-wise finished this game, but they did it, right? What matters is that they just won the game. But the reason that this was so risky is because it could have gone wrong, right? Like, it could have gone wrong, and Nomel did do a great job using his ultimate to push off Long. So perhaps that's why Roaster-Y was very confident into it, because they knew, hey, Seth is gonna use his ultimate to push away the jungler and win. And Roaster-Y won the series. Now, I don't want to spoil the entire, or sorry, they won the game. I don't want to spoil the entire series to you. You know, you should check it out, watch it. It was an absolute banger. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode as well. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.